Hi everyone, I am Muhammed Sabith from second year BSc Zoology. I am here to take a seminar on the topic Parental Care in Amphibia as titled. First of all, let's talk about what is parental care. Parental care means the care and attention taken by parents to guard the eggs and to look after the young ones until they become able to protect themselves from predators. Let's move on to the topic. Parental care in amphibians. Parental care of amphibians fall under two major categories, namely protection of eggs and young ones by providing them nurseries and shelters. Direct carrying of eggs and young ones by the parents. As we all know, amphibians are categorized to caecilians, urodels and anurans. Let's talk about parental care in caecilians. Few caecilians such as Ichthyophis hypogeophis are oviparous. They deposit eggs in the burrows and the mother guards them by coiling around them until hatching. Nearly 75% of the caecilian species are ovoviviparous. In them, fertilized eggs develop within the oviduct. Examples of them are Typhlonectus, Schistometopum, Scholocomorphus. We can see a picture of Ichthyophis with eggs here. Parental care in urodels. Urodels build nests in thick vegetation and deposit eggs in them. Some species even roll up the eggs in leaves. Males alone or both the parents together guard the offspring. Parental care in urodel involves nest building, ovoviviparity, and egg protection. Nest building. The dusky salamander, scientifically known as Desmonathus fuscus, digs out the nest in the sand in a small cave close to water. Female deposits eggs in it and stays near the clutch for 2 months until the larvae hatch out from the eggs. She aggressively defends her eggs from enemies in order to keep the eggs sufficiently wet. The female covers the spawn until the larvae hatch out. Desmonathus often makes collective nests usually guarded by one female. We can see a picture of Desmonathus with eggs here. Salamandrella keeps the eggs in a transparent bag in water and then fixes the bag to an aquatic plant. Tree salamanders, Anidis lugubris, breed the offspring on tree. The larvae have no gills and cannot swim. Ovoviviparity. Some urodels have evolved ovoviviparity to provide protection to larvae and eggs. In this case, the expanded oviduct functions as a brood chamber. Fertilization, early development, larval life and metamorphosis takes place there and fully formed young ones come out of the body. Only very few larvae emerge in case of internal incubation. In some cases, if suitable shelters are not available, the spawn may remain within the ovary for development. Example, Proteus anguinus. In such cases, only very few ova develop and the others dissolve to form a nutritional mass for the larvae. In European salamander, scientifically known as Salamandra salamandra, 20 or more larvae develop within the oviduct. In this case, the embryos get the nutrients from the yolk. Fully formed larvae are released to water for completing larval life and metamorphosis. Internal development is a long process for some species of salamanders. In fire salamanders, it may extend up to 10 months. Egg protection. The females of Amphiuma, also called Congo seal, and Plethodon, and males of Megabatrachus, also known as Japanese giant salamander, habitually protects eggs by coiling around them. Amphiuma lays large eggs in burrows in damp soil. Plethodon lays large eggs in small packages in hollows of rotten legs or beneath stones. The males of Cryptobranchus and Hynobius remains with the eggs, vigilantly guarding them and aggressively chasing away the enemies. Parental care in anurans. Anurans are highly diverse in the ingenious methods of parental care. Some of the common methods are the following: lay eggs in safe places, guarding and protecting eggs and larvae, nest building, carrying of eggs and larvae, keeping of eggs and larvae in brood sac, ovoviviparity, and other unique methods. Lays eggs in safe places. Quite a number of anurans lay eggs in safe places. Some tropical frogs and toads lay eggs near water. Some tree frogs lay eggs on tree branches or leaves which overhang water bodies. Rhacophorus, hyalodes, Centralonella, etc. glue the eggs to foliage and keep vigil on them. The tree frog Philomedusa lays a gelatinous mass of eggs on leaves of plants over water bodies. When tadpoles emerge from the eggs, they drop into water and complete metamorphosis. We can see a picture of Centralonella and its glued eggs. Guarding and protecting eggs and larvae. The adult of some species of frogs guard and protect the eggs and larvae by remaining with them. In some species, it is the females, and in others, it is the males that take up this duty. Males of African bullfrog, Pixicephalus adsperus, guard both eggs and larvae. The females of tropical American frog, Leptodactylus spp, very vigilantly accompany tadpoles and deter potential predators. Some poisonous dart frogs of tropical America deposit their eggs on the ground, and any one of the parents remains with the eggs until the tadpoles hatch out. Nest building. The Smith frog, Hyla faber, builds nest for her offspring. Female takes mud on her forelimbs and make a little dike on the bottom of the water. She levels the space inside the dike with her belly and chin until the dike is raised above the water surface. The developing young ones thus remain on a separate nest in water away from the predators. Hyla faber and Mundustin Hyla faber can be seen here. Carrying of eggs and larvae. The female of European midwife toad, Aletus obstericans, as seen in the picture, lays eggs on the ground. The eggs are arranged in the form of two strings, each with 20 to 50 ova. Male assists the female in expelling eggs. He then entwines the strings around himself and carries them for several weeks. At the time of the emergence of the larvae, he visits a water body and sheds the larvae into the water. Another interesting method of parental care can be seen in Suriname toad Pipa pipa. During breeding season, the skin of the back of the female becomes thick and soft. During mating, the male presses fertilized eggs against the female's back. Sometime later, the eggs get enclosed in cutaneous capsules. Embryonic development and larval life would be completed within these capsules. Larvae metamorphose to miniature adults. Now the walls of the capsule collapse, releasing the small froglets. Cryptobranchus evansi, also called Hyla goeldi, Hemifractus, etc., also carry eggs on the back until larval metamorphosis is completed. Some poisonous dart frogs of America deposit eggs on the ground, then one of the parents remain with the eggs until the tadpoles hatch out. Tadpoles adhere to the parents and get transported to water for larval life and metamorphosis. In a similar way, the female of Colostethus, as seen in the picture, carry tadpoles for more than a week until they begin to feed. Keeping eggs and larvae in brood sac. Marsupial frog, scientifically known as Gastrotheca marsupiata or Nototrema marsupiata, has a brood sac on the back to rear the young ones. The sac has a slit at the bottom. The skin which forms the sac may change its structure and may become tender and highly vascular. The male Australian frog, Asa Darlington, has pockets in the inguinal region. Eggs develop on the ground and larvae crawl into the brood sac of the parents. The big yolk sac in the body helps them in staying as long within the brood sac till metamorphosis. We can see the eggs in dorsal brood sac of Gastrotheca, also known as Nototrema. An extreme case of parental care is seen in Darwin's frog, scientifically known as Rhinoderma darwini. Female deposits eggs on the land, male snaps them and then transports them to his vocal sac. The eggs are incubated inside the vocal sac. The developing young ones even absorb oxygen and nutrients from the father's body. When development is completed, young ones are released one by one into the water. The female of the snake-faced frog, Rheobatrachus silus of Australia, rears her offspring in the stomach. For this, she swallows fertilized eggs or newly hatched larvae. The mother suspends feeding and rears the young ones in the stomach. The other unique methods of the anurans in parental care. A curious method of parental care has been reported from the little tree frog, scientifically known as Dendrobats pumilio of Costa Rica. Female lays 5 to 9 large eggs on dry leaf. The parents visits eggs every day and moisten them with mucus of the skin. The mother eats up all the unfertilized eggs to prevent the decay of other eggs. Tadpoles are carried by the female on her back to the leaf axils. Tadpoles grow in the water bath on the leaf axil. Female visits each offspring every day and deposits 3 to 7 unfertilized eggs. These eggs form food for the tadpoles. This process is repeated for about 2 months. Ovoviviparity. Ovoviviparity is the rule in some species of African toad, scientifically known as nectophyronoids. Eggs are microlithal, meaning poorly yolked. Embryonic development occurs inside the oviduct of the mother, and the young ones feed on the secretions of the oviducal glands. Puerto Rican golden coqui, scientifically known as Eleutherodactylus jasperi, is also ovoviviparous. In this case, egg is developed inside the oviduct but utilizes yolk reserve, not the oviducal secretions. On the whole, it becomes evident that the amphibians have evolved many curious and unusual methods of reproduction and parental care. In those species whose fecundity rate is comparatively low, parental care is more predominant. The phenomenon seems to have mainly evolved for ensuring the survival of the species. I am concluding my seminar here. Thank you.